that what they're wearing in Paris? Boom. Hello, and welcome to Howl Arts here in New York City on the Bowery. This is called, what do you call this shit? I mean, stuff, Pyramid Pioneers. The Pyramid was a nightclub on Avenue A, legendary, which I know a thing or two about. Anyway, and if you don't know a thing or two about it, I'm going to tell you about it. Where do we start? Let's start at the beginning. How about we start right there? Andy Warhol. No one cared about downtown if it wasn't for Andy Warhol. That bitch did show up at the Pyramid once with the camera in a TV show. It was called 16 Minutes by Andy Warhol. I was in it, but they edited me out. It wasn't the first time I landed on the cutting room floor. But it was there, and when they did the Andy Warhol Diaries on HBO, they showed little clips of it. Happy was in it, but she didn't make the thing. John Kelly made it for a while, Dean and the Weenies made it for a while, and they showed, who was the bald-headed girl that looked like Dean and always committed suicide? Well, Perry. They showed Perry in the mirror downstairs in the dressing room when I had designed the pyramid. And I had painted it all pink and gold, and that made it into the Andy Warhol Diary documentary. So I am in there, but my performance, I remember I was heading to a leopard, they cut it out. Whatever. But there's Andy Warhol. I saw him there at the club, and then mostly I don't see him at area, but that's another club. This is the pyramid. She was dull, but if it wasn't for her, the kids wouldn't even know who I was, I guess. Anyway, but you know who I am. Let's go through these. These are photographs. These are what they used to call Polaroids, but these are blow-ups of Polaroids. About some of the famous people. One of the great things about the pyramid was I went there and you'd meet all these incredible people. Like when I was living in Boston, someone said, you need to get to the Pyramid Club because it's incredible. I said, what's that? Just go. Before I knew it, I was here, and day one, I met someone, Aunt Craig, and she said, oh, I'll book you in a show. I said, where's the Pyramid Club? And I said, woo! Boom, right off the bat with that. So, and one of the great things they had, Trey Spiegel had From Straight to Hell, which was a gay porno magazine. He had a poetry, they had poetry readings, punk rock bands, drag shows, like Nirvana was there, Kurt Cobain, what's that band? The really sexy guy, what's his name? Red Hot Chili Peppers. I remember they opened for me, and I was like, get this fucking drum set off the stage, I'm about to go on. And he was cute, the little bass player who played that Alanis Morissette, what's his name? Flea. He was hot. I like those sexy, straight, muscle tattooed guys. And he was like, you're not a woman, get out of here. I said, no, you leave, this is my show. Next! And went to the show. Anyway, they also had this, I don't know what it's called, especially people reading poetry, just talking, you know. Speaking of talking, shut up and talk. Okay, these are some of the people, there's the people, like I remember, like they had Sylvia Miles, Diane Brewer, Taylor Mead, Patty Astor, she just died. Pat Hearn, she just died. John Saxon, Cookie Mueller, Katie Kay, John Waters, Franny Leibowitz, not Annie Leibowitz, Keith Haring, John Sex Again, all these people, Betty Benoit, Tanya Ransom. See, the club was usually run by all these queens from the Anvil because drag was passé, not like it is today where you can make $40,000 for 20 minutes in any city in the world. I gave it up just as it hit pay dirt, whatever, anyway. So back then, you're lucky to get 20 bucks, or they'd pay you in heroin. And these were some of the people who would pay. Tanya Ransom, who was the queen, Betty Benoit, and John Kelly. They came from the Anvil, and they did shows over here on the east. They took the west side over to the east side. So these are some Trey Spiegel photographs, beautiful. Coming right along, oh, it's Gail Thacker from the Boston School. Hi, girl. This is what's left of Gail Thacker. Isn't she beautiful? Okay, keep looking. These are the Straight to Hell posters from John Sachs. This beautiful silver poster. The John Sachs was a graphic designer. He went to the School of Visual Arts with Keith Haring and all the rest. And I recently did a poster for Hattie, God bless Hattie. She eventually became the manager. She was the doorman at the Bud Club. And then she came over here. I remember we were sitting there, she was at the door. The pyramid, we were sitting there. I was like, we can do better drag than that. And we did. Eventually she took over the clothes, took over the club, and I'm the one in the museum. Anyway, but we're still in the museum now. Yes. And I just did a poster, a silver on that, based on this John Sachs beautiful poster. But this is thin fabric. Mine's on heavy stock. Mine's on shredded, but this is beautifully framed. Thanks to the wonderful Jane Friedman. History is preserved. And here's some more photos, probably Trace Beagle again. Oh, Cousin Omi. He's the first person I saw do a show at the pyramid. He came up to me and wanted to take me home and fuck me. I'm like, ooh. Well, he was like a leather queen. I was a feather queen. Anyway, different thing. But he was my hero. Oh, the great Larry Ray. She's one of my great drag models. She was like the father of the drag queens, and Ethel was the mother of the drag queens. And Alexis Salago was the grandmother of the drag queens. And there's Ethel right there. Many looks. That's probably Johnny Haley. That's who I know as Dagmar. Ethel was one of the fourth person to have the tattoos. Now every fourth grader has a face tattoo. And Ethel had a big tattoo by Kenny Kisa on her back. Oh, and this is a great legend. Speaking of Andy Warhol, no one would care about Andy Warhol if it wasn't for Jackie Curtis. It was all the drag shit. That's Jackie Curtis. I was the last person to see her live. I saw her shooting up, and I go, oh, I loved your show, Champagne. Home show, but I bullshitted because she got off the fan. I loved your show, Champagne on the Mama. And she goes, get out of here, I'm shooting up. With this girl who, when she died, the girl dragged her to the hallway and left. And it was an Oscar. I remember calling her an Oscar and saying, I just saw the legendary Jackie Curtis. Last night, she couldn't have, she died. I'm like, last time to see her alive. Actually, the girl who was shooting up with was the last person to see her alive. Anyway, next, over here, Philly, the great Philly from Philadelphia and from Montreal. She was queen of Montreal. You know, you could be a big fish in a little pond, and you come to a big pond, and she was a little fish. But she was famous for hanging out with me and Philly and Happy. We like a throttle, we did shows, but she would puke. She couldn't hold her liquor, and she would puke all over the people. So she would projectile vomit. That was her big stage act. Later, Lee Bowery would do that shit too. The great Joey Arias. He was in the show with Klaus Nomi when I first saw him. It was called Mermaids on Heroin. Actually, everyone was on heroin, not just the mermaids. Anyway, at one point, there was a thing called, like it's very soon it's going to be, there was this whole eclipse, a lunar eclipse, there was also coming, it's going to be the summer solstice. There was a time when all the planets lined up, and it was called the something convergence. Remember that one? Harmonic. The harmonic convergence. And so we all went wild. We all did like 20 hits of acid, and we produced this big poster. It was a harmonic convergence. Sort of like New Age. We were the New Age. And we are. I remember 3 days later, I woke up under a bush in Central Park naked. Anyway, I don't know what happened to that. Here's a big blow up. Beautiful. There's the great Larry Ray, who we call Madame. All her outfits were stolen from the Chinese opera at Lincoln Center. Oops, she's dead. You can talk about that. This is probably Anne Craig, excuse me. This is Hattie in the back, great Brian Budrick, also known as Loretta B. DeMille. She got in the pyramid of some of you know, like Cecil B. DeMille, but she was Loretta B. And John Kelly, Dagmar Nassus. Pearls were the jewelry of choice back in the 80s. They come back now. Even straight guys wear pearls. Things really. This is from the drag queen marathon. Nowadays, every non-binary queen walks around like Williamsburg, like an Amish man with a beard, or a Little House on the Prairie Amish drag, and full drag. Back then, if you walked around in any kind of woman's clothes, A, it was illegal, or B, you get your ass kicked. But we did this thing called the drag queen marathon, where we rented limos, and we went uptown, and we went to the Guggenheim, and we went through Bergdorf. Instead of throwing us out, they couldn't dance because we were being filmed by Tom Rubnitz. Incredible. And right. Here we are at what's that? No, in front of
Plaza.
The Plaza. What's that? That's the name of the famous. That's not the
Pulitzer.
What's it called?
The Pulitzer.
The Pulitzer Fountain. The other fountain in Central Park was the first public sculpture in New York City, the Bethesda Fountain. It was done by a woman. Imagine that. Female energy. Happy. And they showed up in the exact same outfit. How kooky. Mr. Fashion, Gerard Little, Frankie Lyman's nephew. This is the poster over here. And my big quote from that was, for drag queen to do it, it's gotta be good. Chicken. That's what we did picnics in Central Park. We had big things. I think had chicken. Chicken. Wendy Wild, the great Wendy Wild. And it was mainly men as women. There weren't a lot of like what they now call cisgender women. But Wendy Wild was like the big cisgender. She's the one who named me Tabboo, by the way. She was incredible. And this is a woman who looks like a woman, but this is actually a man. Well, whatever. We don't. No labels. Well, this thing we'll call Benny Benoit. Benoit is Benoit in French, But Benoit was like the sex balls, you shove up your ass, Benoit balls. Because these was the S&M queens from the Anvil, the dirty side of some drag. Everything's so clean, you know. This was a guy named Greg who transitioned to Greer, who didn't do drag shows, but did sculpture, was a great sculptress, soft sculptress. And she would do this beautiful. That's Joey Gabriel. She would do, not Joey Gabriel, that's the other one. This is Joey Horatio. He was my first crush. He was a really young kid. Back then, the drinking age was 18, but all these underage kids would go because, 15, 16, but there were no cops back then. There's no cops now, but in the middle there were cops when Giuliani came and doing everything. But he was the one who did all the decor at the pyramid, except the backdrop of the stage, which I would do. Anyway, and he did outside of the pyramid, we painted it red, and I did the logo that says the pyramid. And they used to have an ad on TV late at night before Mary Tyler Moore. It would say, I love New York. It was a promo to get people to come to New York. But in the 80s, New York was like crack town. And before rap. The only thing was, you get mugged. Day one, I was mugged. Boom, what the fuck was that? I was from Boston, you didn't do that. Where's my wallet? Boom, you get mugged, you get killed, you get raped. So the only way to survive was to drink yourself to death and get all stoned on heroin. Otherwise, you couldn't deal with the reality. But they tried to promote it. They had this late night thing. I love New York. And they had the Rockettes and everything. And they even showed the pyramid, which was the club at the time. And then Steven Sprouse, he's dead. He was famous for a while. And he would do the outfits for Debbie Harry from Blondie. And Debbie Harry and Blondie was standing outside the pyramid. I love New York. Back when I had the pyramid. So I recently found that original pyramid thing. I want to sell it to a museum. No, we don't talk about money. Okay, here is Betty and Tanya again. Late at night, after the disco, or in the middle of the disco, when everything was going good, they stopped because in order to get the $250 or whatever it was to go cop the dope, you had to technically prove that you did a show. So they'd come up and ruin the dance floor, get on stage, and at the other, buy the drugs first, and then they legitimize it. We did a show, and they'd be all like, we would do like the rhythm, like the songs from Nashville. You know Nashville, the beautiful wall, rub it off the movie. And they would get on there and sing like, he's got a back in his tractor, and everybody's like, stop! Anyway, this is the part. This is a famous picture. It was probably in the New Yorker magazine. They got a lot of people to come to bring Jerome. He was like the butch version of Joey. They were like the two 16-year-old kids. Oh, what's his name? I forget. He was great. They had go-go dance. When I was young, I always wondered, what do you want to be when you grow up? An internationally famous artist? No, I want to be a go-go dancer like Goldie Hawn. I'm laughing. And you could be a go-go dancer. You make $40 and get all the free booze. That was my job for 20 years. And I got the gig because I found out by Samoa, who was one of the rare Asians on the scene, besides, where is she? Augusta. And I would think, exactly, for a while, Augusta, Samoa had a long beard. Are you Augusta? He goes, no, I'm Samoa. Anyway, this is where she just drove fur form. Oh, this is, we had like all kinds of weird drag. We didn't just, sort of what RuPaul, if you ever knows RuPaul's Drag Race, she does more Emmys than anyone else has ever made. More than Oprah, more than Mary Tyler Moore, but she does all these weird little things that she comes from the pyramid. You do like theme and weird stuff. This was like drag queen mud wrestling. And at the end, as a cheat to pulls out a real gun with blanks and kills the other person. And I look, she's not shooting, that's me. I was always boy, drag, female, whatever. Tabboo isn't a woman's name. It's what do they call that now? Non-gender Pacific fluid, what the fuck? Just spell it. Anyway, and I guess, wow, do you ever have a real gun go off in your head? No, because you would be dead probably. But this was a body. So loud. I still have tendinitis. Wendy Mom again, beautiful Wendy Wild. That's all the beautiful Alexis Delano, and she was a living embodiment of Marlene Dietrich. Heard of her? That was glamorous. Actually, Marlene Dietrich used to do shows with Anime Wong. And Anime Wong was the other really famous Asian actress who was actually more glamorous than Marlene Dietrich. But they do shows together anyway. This is RuPaul, remember her? This is outside the pyramid with black. Julie Hare. This was Paula. She married Tanya. Back in the day, they said AIDS is God's curse on the fans. And he said, I'm not fags, I'm married to a woman. So any fag who didn't want to die, married their fag had children. See, I'm heterosexual. He'd eventually die of AIDS anyway and leave an orphan. It's a long story. But her little, and they're all heroin addicts anyways. Her little daughter came out half the full, but now she's incredible. She's like a congresswoman, believe it or not. And this is when we painted pictures like Joey, we would change, it was all about culture, it was always moving. We would change the decor, outside, inside. We would change our wig colors, we would change our hairstyles, we change it all constantly. You're outside, this is some outdoor performance. See, and keep up the international crisis. Another one, my godmother. She's the one who saved my life. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this woman. Believe it or not, color woman, she's a man. She's from 24, 36, 9. She was on Broadway, she had a movie, she had a record, she had everything. She was dead. Okay, this is from a show. This is more shows, lots of shows. Shows, Happy Faith, John Kelly, Kuka the dog. We would have animals, live animal acts. We'd string Kuka up one of those jet stream things that fly us through the crowd. That's animal abuse. You couldn't do that today. You couldn't do any of this stuff today. In fact, everything I've just said, I would have been canceled already by the time the fourth photograph. But you can't tell me I'm already dead. Okay, this is Mark. Oh, this is an incredible happy face again, and that outfit again is a good one. This is probably from the Drag Queen Marathon, which here's some photos from the Drag Queen Marathon. That's me, all in pink, pre-Barbie, 45 years before the film Barbie. And Jacob brings it off, the star of many Peter Huchar movies. Clark Render, incredible. That's me wearing Greer Langton soft sculpture real titties with the nipples. I use it as a flat chest piece, like I want to be Goldie Hawn or Twiggy, but she did big old movies. Actually, Greer liked Twiggy too, but this was a sculpture of her. And I had a roommate, Paulette. Paulette couldn't pay the rent. I said, well, I'll just take those. Well, I wore them for a while. That's why I had the little nipples. But of course, I was mugged, stumbling home drunk one night. They stole my shoes, my wallet, my keys, and my Greer Langton. If anyone has a real Greer Langton lying around, ka-ching! Hello. There's a whole wing at the Warhol Museum. Anyway, this way, shall we? Is this the way it goes? Okay, keep walking this way. If I could walk that way, they wouldn't need Naomi Campbell. Okay, there's a whole bunch of queens here. Tanya, Baronessa, she's the one who takes a lot of the photos. I forget who goes. Oh look, there's the outside of the pyramid right here. See, there's that famous sign that I'm going to be selling to. There's a bidding war between MoMA, the Museum of the City of New York. They're doing a LGBTQXYZ wing, and they're going to sell that, put that up there. And there's Ethel again. Here's an original Tabboo. See, now, remember I was telling you about a lot of the queens married the fag hag and had children and died. Well, this is Anne, and she kept all her dead gay husband stuff alive. At one point, they said, okay, enough of this heroin shit, and they kicked all the managers out, including Bobby, who started the club. And they said, no more heroin. So I went from heroin just straight to alcohol. And they smoked so much alcohol, smoked so much hash and did acid, but we didn't. Anyway, in the interim, Mark was the manager of the pyramid. And he also was in a band called, what was it called? It's over there.
Etiquette.
But then he decided, let's do a play, because we all did kind of plays. He had one play called Madonna, the musical. And then we did one thing called Psycho, the musical. And then went to Suez. And later they did do Psycho 3. For Psycho 1, they foolishly made a horrible remake called Psycho 2. And then we did the musical Psycho 3. And then they redid a regular movie, Psycho 3. And then Gus Van Sant made a remake of Psycho. It's great. It's all about, what do you call that? What do they call that? What do they call it? Rape porn? It's called rape and murder porn. You take a beautiful woman, kill her, rape her, film her, make a lot of money. Alfred Hitchcock bought houses off that shit. Okay, this is a movie this is one of the backdrops, because eventually they put Norman into a mental hospital. This is one of the backdrops that I did. It was crazy because he's pulling his hair up. This is called cartoon figuration. That's what they called it. I didn't know it at the time. That's what they call it in a museum right now, currently in Dallas, Texas. Cartoon figuration. That's an early, rare one, see? It's not signed, but some of these are signed. There's one over there. At one point, I would do something. I did all the presidents of the United States. I love history, right? That's James Garfield. You probably don't even know who that is. He was president of the United States for a while. Around the time of mutton chops, so probably Little House on the Prairie time. These are all the things from Mark Oates, his band, his shows. That's when we did Cinderella, and I played the Kay Ballard role. Kay Ballard was a big fat lesbian from Palm Springs. She was incredible. Her and Alice Ghostley, they were the ugly stepsisters from Rogerson Hammerstein's Cinderella. I knew every word for her. And Christina Dawkins played the king. And he's the one who wrote the book, Pyramid We Started in Mexico. That's him right there, and that's me. And that's the poster. See, I did the poster. Notice the spiral things on the thing. I'm not known for anything. It's my snow paintings. No, it's my spirals. No, it's my bad underarms. No, anyway. No laughter. Okay, no new jokes. That's a big blow for me. That's me being murdered. Let's get a close-up on it just as she's about to die. Those pictures. Ballet of the Dog. Oh, here's me. Tabboo singing her hit rap Armenia. Way before Dean Johnson, way before Lil Nas X. Tabboo was the gay rapper. And I did Armenia. It was big. And Hattie, who ran the Pyramid, had a little record label. We never got around to recording that. It would be another 20 years before I had my other rap, It's Natural, which was a big hit. Someone told me once they were in India, and they saw the little cassette single of It's Natural, and the Wigs dropped the movie soundtrack in a 5-cent budget bin outside. Save it for me! But it was big. People from other cities said, oh, hey! People from other cities would come and say, oh, we play It's Natural all the time. The kids love it. I was thinking, I want to get Honey Dijon to remix this with the kids now. Anyway, this is a vitrine. We love a vitrine. This is where we put the ephemera. And, oh, this is the RuPaul ephemera. Heard of her? No. Okay, move on. Okay, over here. This is Paul Rubens. He was the one who did all the videographer. Every fourth grader now has a camera that's better than the camera that they filmed Gone with the Wind in. But this is, back then only 2 people had cameras. One was Nelson Sullivan, a video camera like this, bigger though, big chunky things. The other one was, who's that? Mahjong, she had a little one, but she didn't come around that much. And Tom Rubens, but he didn't do a lot of nightclub things. He had to come to his studio where he kind of started the music videos kind of stuff, you know. And this is the still. He did the still. What do you call that? What do you call that movies where they, like in The Wizard of Oz, where Judy Garland runs up and it's a backdrop page. Anyway, from Psycho 3, the musical. If you ever get to California and go to that amusement park, what's it called? Universal Studios. You can ride by. They actually have the house on the thing. It's really there. But there's an original painting by Tom Rubens, and he'll be having a show at my gallery, Gordon Rober Show next year. His original painting. But many of us did paintings, photography, photographs. Now they call it multi-dimensional, whatever. We were men, we were women, we were painters, we were sculptors. Now you have to just be one thing, or you confuse the people. Hopefully, I'm not confusing you with all of my talks, with my gibber, with my blabbering, blabbering gibber. Here's another beautiful vitrine. There's a whole collection of some of the, hi Jean.
Hey baby.
Jean rhymes with vitrine. These are some beautiful flyers. This is what the kids, the collectors really go for. The curators dive. You know, any of the original stuff, save it, sell it. There's Stephanie Crawford, Greer's friend. We used to smoke pot every day. Stephanie Greer, me, Happy, and Iggy Pop. Every day, smoke pot. And Einstein's. I did the design, very much like the pyramid. I did that design too out there. I'm known for my signage. Anyway, some of these things. Oh, there's Dean Johnson, my little drawing of Dean Johnson, God bless his heart. And that's me next to him, see, with my shaved chest. I used to shave my chest, imagine. All these wonderful little things. Oh, that's the one I did too. Notice the spiral. Cocktail Girls. Oh, I don't know that band. Most of these people are lost to time. That's why I'm here trying to tell you not to be lost to time. You can go through all this Madonna musical I talked to you about earlier. See, now, like recently I was in a show at the Brooklyn Museum. All this stuff is now, this is like a Rembrandt etching. This is a new shit. It was like Xerox art. They now call it, they misquote it, they call it, I think they call it copy machine art. Nobody called it copy machine art. It's called Xerox art. With an X, not a Z. Anyway, Oh, here's the original. At one point, it was just a shithole, and the downstairs was just dirt. At one point, they had enough money once Andy Warhol came, and it got written up in the New York Times and New York Magazine. They had some money that they didn't always spend it on pot, or heroin, and cocaine. And they fixed up the basement and called it the African Lounge. And it was fun. They had a real stuffed, Joey made a paper mache giraffe. They had a vitrine like this with a live tarantula, and they gave me all this money. I was the hostess. That's where I made this wild thing with fur and this giraffe outfit. Was a blog. And this photograph appeared in many places too. This doesn't look like you, because they just think of me in a classic dark-haired wig, because I'm Armenian. That's what the song Armenian was about. I'm Jewish too. I'm also Irish, English, Scottish. Everybody's everything. They want to pinpoint you. They're great. There wouldn't be a pyramid without Anne Craig. Yeah, she is Anne Craig. And Martin. This is Martin. Martin was great. He was a bartender there. He's one of the first people I met. We used to sell out. No one had any money, so we'd sell whatever we had on the street in front of the Cooper Union out there on the road. They said, "Well, how much is that? You stole that from my brother." I don't care. I got drunk with that. Anyway, I would sell all my stuff, and that's where I met Martin. And he later was the pyramid. And then he came to my first art show. He used to manage a little club called Lucky Strike, and Madonna was the bartender, because he was her backup dancer. No one was famous yet. She had just released her album called Everybody, but they didn't even put her picture on the record because they wanted to present you with black. So, but it became a hit, and then at the time, I didn't know who she was. I heard the song on the radio. But also at the same time, the Loose Woman on the Loose song was being played on the radio too. That went nowhere, but today, she looks horrible, and I look cut like a giant. She's rich. I'm rich too. Money is a subject. And then everyone in these pictures died of AIDS, almost. Everyone, boom, boom, boom. If they didn't die of drug overdose, they died of AIDS. And when he died of AIDS, Madonna finally said, "Oh, I'm going to have a benefit pyramid for you." So when Madonna showed up at that point, she was a huge international star, so they could make some money. So Deb Popper and Joey Carilla did this whole show. Most of these names are lost to time. Anyway, God bless them. But they're all these names. It was a great show. Keith Haring is still kind of not lost to time. His family made a lot of money on those babies. Anyway, there's an Andy Warhol drawing of Martin Burgoyne. Beautiful. He was great. One of the great loves in my life. Oh, here's some lady for Jane County. Beautiful Jane County. She was one of the first transsexual rock stars. Almost every single person became famous from CBGBs, except her, because she was trans. Sorry, you can't come. But now she lives down south with her cats. But when I started getting famous, she broke the ceiling in the art world, the glass ceiling in the art world for whatever you want to call us. Maybe I'll have another chance. But this is when she had moved to Berlin for a while. So when she was already a legendary figure, she came back. And so we booked her at the pyramid. Hattie could book anyone at the pyramid, and we were the place. So I did this beautiful poster, and this was a gorgeous photo of her. By the time she was at the pyramid, she was a little less for wear and tear, what do you call that? But I was one of her backup dancers with Constance, the bald-headed queen, who they made in American Horror Story, the bald-headed queen she used to work with. She was a hostess at Chateau Marmont. I forget what we call it, psychedelic slumps or something. There's another one. This is a famous one. They show this every time. This is a beautiful picture by Jack Pearson of me, where I kind of look fishy country. So they use that one a lot. And then of course I drew on that. These are more of these. We would do before Instagram. You'd actually do you do a map. The months of the march, and you tell other different people that were there. Whisper, Clarksina. That was talking too much. Keep going. Okay, over here. What are these beautiful posters? Sometimes they blow up the posters real big. These are beautiful. Oh, some of the shows, yeah. Incredible. Moving here. Oh, wig stuff. Eventually, after the Drag Queen Marathon, they all stumbled out to Thompson Park. But back then, there was a band shell because they made it in the 1940s for the workers to go out there and have a place to protest. Now they said, fuck the workers. No pressure. Tore that thing down. But at the time, they were out there drug business. Let's bring the pyramid outside. Do we dare? Yeah, it's time. Let's do it. It was around the same time as like Act Up, Fight Back. Everyone was dying. We're going to all be dead in 2 minutes anyway. Let's go get them. We went outside. This is one of the earlier posters. I forget what year this is. Let's see if they...
86.
86. Yeah, so that's the second year. So I did the first year. This is the second year. Easy. Oh, you got the key. Let's come around this way. Here's some more little Xerox posters. Beautiful. Here's that one. These are the benefits of the go-go style floats. You know, back in the day, thanks to people like Augusta Machado, they had the Gay Pride March. And this friend of mine, Linda Simpson, said, I want to do drag. I want to do things. It should be more fun. It shouldn't be all so political. It should be fun. Let's make it a parade instead of a march. Well, how do you make it a parade? You need a float. Well, how do we make a float? I don't know. You figure it out. So I figured it out. I made a float. You need a benefit for it. This is a benefit. They're all dead, but no. Sister Dimension's still alive. And Happy's still alive. Audrey White just died last week. Oh, Philly, Crisis, me, Clock Render, Fantasy Fashion, all dead. But there's no little poster for that. And now, that float idea was so big that it's corporate America, and it's ruined the Gay Pride Parade that nobody even wants to go to it anymore.
That's right.
So everyone goes off the other direction, and they don't do the floats. They go back to the marching. So blame me for the floats. But when I did it, it was great. It was paper mache and fun. We didn't have those big booming things. We didn't have any corporate logo. We weren't even the pyramid stock. We were just the go-go star float. No one, just ourselves. Anyway, that's what it was there. The beautiful painting by Helen Oliver. Beautiful sculpture by, is that Linus Caravaggio? Isn't it a beautiful gallery? Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Other room.
Over here.
Let me get this. You want me to play this while
Sure, here's a beautiful poster done by the legendary Jack Pearson. Maybe you might have known him. Jack Pearson, he did this one. These are all taped together and all these things fall off. These are beautiful posters. At one point, he did a whole bunch, he left a whole stack of them on the window and then come back and get them, and someone took them. So somebody had a whole stack of original Jack Pearson collage Psycho see the musical posters that they could sell on eBay. Beautiful. There's a photograph by someone of John Kelly, probably as, what's his name, the gay guy, who played Psycho, who's gay. They always made the gays to kill him. The star of Psycho?
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins, played by John Kelly. Oh, here we go. Hear that song? That's the song that was battling Madonna's Everybody up the charts. Look, here I am. Enjoy. This is a quiet, there's a video lounge in here. So, actually I was going to say come back tomorrow, but this is the last day of the show. So, this is it. You could peek in there and look. I have a flip wig. I play both. There's Hattie as Miss Nix, her little cameo. We have back projections. This is another Tom Loomis video. He was quite the thing. They're going to show a whole collection of his movies out there in Brooklyn somewhere for those Bushwick Queens, or one of those blow-up screens in a couple of weeks. Did Sam come here? Sam
Kitty cat.
oh, kitty cat. This Hattie put on makeup. Beautiful. Hattie had cheekbones, so she could really get glamour beauty. And Tom Muir, the alien comic. And all these little his props. This woman on the list, this woman on the list. The syndrome.
Behind the car?
That's me, driving the car.
Oh, you're moving it.
I'm moving it cheap, cardboard, phone call. A budget, we barely had a budget. And I'm lip syncing to my own voice, I'm lip syncing to it. Because he's looping. It's a kind of real movie for a minute. Did it ever play in a theater? No, but there was a live production that played, because they used to do the Pyramid, would open early and they do performances early, and then later there would be like the bands, and then later turn into discos. But this played for months, and it was anyone knows Psycho the movie? How she gets murdered in the shower? More porn. I was talking about that rape porn.
Snuff film.
I played it live, stuff film. So I played it every week, and I played the girl, and then I played the sister who comes back looking for her. So I would do the nude shower scene. Doesn't take much for me to take my clothes off in public. But of course they show the back. What do they say? This is a moneymaker. Cut this off. Okay, so this is beautiful here, and every night, Caro syrup, blood with we would be blood, it would drip all over me. And then quick, I'm on in 5 minutes as the sister The beautiful sister with the Dolly Parton wigs. It was beautiful. Every night, for months and months and months. But it was popular. And then we went up to Canada and performed it up in Canada. We performed it on Coney Island, Fire Island, and then we filmed it for preservation. Which is right here, it's a beautiful preservation. Probably Anne preserved this. I think you can maybe see it on Criterion, is that what it's called?
Criterion.
I think so. You can look at it. I don't need to block the frame. Does anyone want to look, just in case? Some of the reason I've seen it so many times, they would always show it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I've moved on to many other things. But if I know anything, it's just these long, boring, laborious art talks. I have a great podcast called Talk Art. It's incredible. People stop me in the street. I love you on Talk Art. Now, is this going to be on your live website? What do you think? We'll be able to watch that. We'll have to take out all the swear words, all the inappropriate. Was I misogynist, racist, elitist, libidinous, ableist? What else? Did I miss something? I don't know. Anti-Asian? Sexist. Anti-Asian, did I say? I don't know. Did I miss something? I don't know.
Fascist.
What? Fascist?
Well, if you missed it, you could list it now.
Oh, what should I list?
You've got the phone.
Any questions from the audience?
Yes.
You? Oh,
I have a question.
yes.
I noticed that they don't have an exclamation point on, after your name on the second.
Well, luckily, it takes decades to finally get respect in this world. They're always spelling it with a 1B, or missing O, or they're putting my government name. I don't need the government to know, the IRS, fuck that shit. And, or they would forget the exclamation point. And even now, like on Instagram, you're not allowed to put punctuation. Maybe they switched it now. And on Facebook, you have to use your government name. It's like, fuck. It's all like anti-gender shit. I don't know, performance stuff. I don't know what it is. But now, they always put it here. I'm sure I mean, 2 B's, 2 O's, who, thanks to, I now have some gallery people who make sure, and if they don't do it right, they look like idiots. You know, that's weird. Back then, I don't know if I was always sort of shy and passive, believe it or not. The only reason I could be wild in public is because I would get under 40 pounds of bass and makeup, change my height, change my voice, change my sex, change my color of skin, and then I was safe, you know? But, so I never fought anything. So other people, like whether it be Ann Magnuson or Katie Sharp, or pick me, pick me. I was like, okay, pick me. But now, they're all on the picture and it's me. So, any other questions? That's it now? Yay! What time is it? 3:28. I said I was going to talk to 3:30. That's what, 2 minutes? Okay, 2 minutes. We have two good. Okay, I'll ask you something dirty. Say something dirty. Mud. Mud wrestling. No.
Why John Garfield?
Oh, that's the only one that survived. I did a great one with, back at the time, it was Nancy Reagan and Ronald Reagan. We had that animated. And it would go like this. The hands would wave. Where's that? Yeah, she would say, just say no. If I don't listen. You know? You had that. Some of my favorite presidents. Talk about the Little House on the Prairie that all the trans people out in Williamsburg were giving that like granny look. You know, they were really young.
What is that? Cottage core?
What?
They call it cottage core.
Well, back then, the president,
Cottage core.
the president, his name was
Yes.
No, okay, sure. Yeah, his name was Grover Cleveland. Now, that wasn't his real name. His real name was Stephen, which is my government name, with a PH. But he didn't use Stephen, he used Grover. His first name Grover. I think that's where they got it from the Muppets. And he was Grover Cleveland, and he had a lawyer. He was from Buffalo. And he had a lawyer and a partner, and then the partner died. And then the word was out, he married the partner's wife, the beautiful young wife, Frances. No, it was the daughter. She was 16, Frances. And she was younger than Jackie Kennedy. She was the first pop star. She was the first one that did merch. And when she got pregnant and had a baby, they named her Ruth, Baby Ruth, the candy bar. Did they still make that?
Oh my
that came out of her. She had paper dolls, spreads in newspapers, everything with Frances. We love Frances more than Grover. Grover couldn't get anything past the Congress. In fact, when he came for re-election, very few times does a sitting president not win the next election. He didn't win. Instead, Benjamin Harrison won. If you ever watch Little House on the Prairie, the president was Benjamin Harrison. Meanwhile, when they left, and all the people loved Frances. And all the people at the White House went, I hate to see you go. And she turned and she said, I'll be back. And they pulled what I think Melania and Don, I don't think Melania's coming this time, but they said they did come back because they all loved Frances. And they all dressed like her. She was young, beautiful, 16, but then she was 18. And he married her in the White House. The only time a president got married in the White House to a young girl. And so she was beautiful, they had a baby in the White House, and they were re-elected. And they came back again. Again, he still couldn't get anything from Congress. But she was beautiful. Yeah. And
He was the fattest president.
no, that was Taft. Taft was the fattest
Talking
president.
about
He didn't want to be the fattest president. He wanted to be the Supreme Court justice. What's his name? They killed in Buffalo. Who did they kill in Buffalo? But no, they killed Garfield, but then
McKinley.
And so McKinley died, and then the youngest president, again, the youngest first lady was not Jackie Kennedy, it was Frances Garfield. And the youngest president was Teddy Roosevelt, because he was the vice president, and he became the president. And then when he became the president, his vice president, William Howard Taft, became the president. He goes, I don't want to be the president. So he didn't drink himself to death. He ate everything. He was so big that they had to break the tub on the floor to get him out. He got stuck in the tub. And then he got out. And then later, when he got out, he ran or sometime he got put in. I forget who came that time. It was Teddy Roosevelt. I'll run again. So Teddy Roosevelt was the president who came on the third party ticket. He was the first president who almost won the third party ticket. But he didn't. Instead, I forget who did it. But maybe this comes on World War I. And then Howard Taft became the head of the Supreme Court and lost all the weight with the skinniest meeting back there. And you see pictures of who's that? That's William Howard Taft. What? I thought he was fat. He was fat. Once he got happy, he didn't need to stuff his feelings with food. He loved it. And he passed all these incredible bills.
And then he changed his name to Happy Face.
No.
I have a question.
Happy Face was originally Bev Hill. And I named it.
How did you meet Hattie?
How did I meet Hattie? I was at the pyramid, and like I said, she was Dorian. And we were sitting there, see all the time. She said, we were both sitting there watching shows. I'm like, you can better drag. Because I said, Tanya was with me.
Tanya Ransom?
Yeah, she would do. She worked out on Wall Street. She wouldn't even shave. Just sew on heels and smoke a cigarette and get drunk. You know, maybe slick her hair back or something. And we can better drag. Eventually she became Loretta Nix, and then she became Loretta Beach Mill, and the whole thing. They even bought rented the whole top, second floor where Nico used to live. That's how when they want to make the pyramid, which is now Bunker Hill or something.
It's Baker Falls.
Baker Falls, yeah, whatever. Anyway, the only reason they wanted to make it into a legendary landmark is not because of the pyramid, because Nico lives there on the second floor. Because Nico used to be the blonde when the Velvet Underground came along. Because the Velvet Underground's drummer was a girl drummer named Mo Tucker. But she had a younger brother named John Tucker, who was the head barman at the pyramid. Okay, so Nico actually performed at the pyramid too with his son, who was beautiful. He was young. He fucked Elaine Delon and had a son. I don't think they ever married. But they all became junkies. Eventually, she was high as a kite riding a bicycle and was killed. Anyway, where were we?
What's your favorite memory of Hattie?
What is my favorite one?
That you can think of. The first one that comes to mind.
First one that comes to mind, I do love her saying in tape deck and tractor. You got a tape deck and tractor. Ever seen the movie Nashville? 4 hour, it's a masterpiece. One of the best movies, top 5 of all time. And I actually met Lonnie Blakely, who wrote sang that song in the movie, and we sang it together. But I did sing that at his memorial we had over there on First Street. I sang that. I sang through it. You want to be emotional, but you keep going anyway, live on stage. There weren't fake tears, you know. If anything, it was enjoyment. It's all made up.
That's right. Mine is right.
Right? Don't you get your aim camera? Quick.
No.
Yes, us together.
So
Come on.
flee.
No, right there. We got on it. Too late. Ah! We get you going. Okay, 3:30 on the button. Bye.
Well done.